Hello. There you are, Ed. What's going on, bro?
Oh, not too much. You you got a backdrop behind you.
Yeah, he's there. Oh, oh.
The guests can't do that because if they show something, it'll disappear off the sides.
Yes, no, I've had it before where like I'll be like, oh look, here's my copy of Blackbird singing, and then I'm like,
let's get it in the frame.
yeah, I can't. It doesn't work. It's been edited out. Do you want to pan down a bit? You're just in the bottom. You're just in the bottom of the screen. There we are. Oh, yeah, we go. Perfect.
All right.
Awesome. Awesome. Right. Let's just launch right into this. Hey, let's just crack on. We are professional podcasters. I'm awake. I'm here. I'm definitely going to pass out directly after this. I've had a full, literally, like the moment I was finished with Lonnie, my mom was like, "Oh, I've got a roast dinner for you." I was like, "What?"
big dinner. So did Lonnie have good stuff? Did he show you his Beatles room now that he's so happy he's got it all set up again?
It was depressing, Ed. It was very depressing. It was just like, I've got nothing. None of this can be mine. I was very jealous. Like, he's got a Butcher cover, the archive stuff, multiple copies of each album in a row, bubblegum cards. There was literally nothing he didn't have. I feel like everyone's got...
There's stuff he doesn't have, but he used to have a whole lot more. He sold off a bunch of his stuff.
Yeah, he has to sell like 50 of his 200 posters. He only has 150 posters.
Well, I'm not going to any of my posters.
Fair enough. I do feel like everyone's got a Give My Regards to Broad Street point of sale cardboard stand, and I don't. I feel like everyone's got one. I was so annoyed. No, he got out the Wings from the Wings box set with the red, white, and blue.
He's so proud of that. I don't know why. It's not that rare.
Oh, but it's so cool, though. It's so
pretty,
cool.
But it's not that rare.
It's particularly rare over here in the UK, I imagine, though.
Well, I mean, it is as much as any other bootleg from the era.
Yeah. No, he showed me like a Japanese copy of Hey Jude, and I was like, I don't even have an English copy. Oh, right. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Macca in Your Attic, a Paul or Nothing spin-off, where we are here to find the primo tit and taft of McCartney memorabilia. Today, we're going to go through my guest's attic, as it were, and look at 5 fun, unique, strange, sentimental, maybe valuable items from their own Paul McCartney / Beatle collections, each with their own unique story, hopefully. As always, be sure to check out the Patreon page for access to loads of episodes still in the can. Hit me up at paulmccartneypod@gmail.com or on Twitter @McCartneypod if you ever want to say hi. Today, everyone, I am joined by the other half and or third of one of my low-key favorite Beatles podcasts. He is the creator and mainline host, the John Lennon, if you will, of the When They Was Fab podcast. And he has been a regular co-chair on my recent Paul McCartney music video side series on Paul or Nothing. I'm very excited to have him here. Everyone, please welcome the powerful Ed Chen to the show. Ed.
Little Arsenio for you.
USA.
No, none of that.
Ed, welcome to Macca in Your Attic. How you doing, my friend?
All right.
Pleasure is all mine. I am very excited to have you here. And it's a bit of a contrast to Lonnie's background, I must admit. Do you have a Beatle room, or do you have that side of your personality under control?
It's not under control, but no, it's not nearly as organized as Lonnie's house.
Do you
the bookshelves overflow?
Bookshelves pretty standard. I can totally empathize with that. Has any of your have any of your items today actually come from an actual attic? Do you keep stuff in storage?
I know I have nothing in storage. I have enough room in the house that I managed to be able to keep everything in an accessible place. Not necessarily easily accessible. Some of them require ladders to climb up. And
It's all within someone's arm's reach, you know, and an NBA player could definitely access all of this stuff. That's totally fine.
And I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do with this Harrison crate that I'm looking at over in the right-hand side of the frame. Well, not your frame, but my frame.
Oh my gosh. No, again, speaking to Lonnie early today, I saw that he had one of the LP collections, but you actually managed to outdo Tom Hunyadi here in terms of like the greatest single expenditure on a single post-Beatle release here. This is the George Harrison crate with the
Tom
gnomes.
bought one as well.
Oh, did he? Oh no! Yeah. Oh no!
No,
right.
Tom owns one, and his co-host also owns one.
And Andy has one as well.
Andy has one as well. Oh, Andy got his early.
Oh my word. That is incredible. That is absolutely incredible. Are you actually going to put the gnomes out in your garden to be eaten away by acid rain?
No, they are not. For the moment, they've been unpacked and then they've been repacked. So they're still in the original packing.
Oh my God.
Take them out to take pictures of them or movies of them. But otherwise, I mean, I'm keeping the original strapping around the crate, so
love it, absolutely love it. No, I mean, we are only 5 days away now from the Let It Be box set, and that's going to be my first attempt at an unboxing video. So I'm definitely going to be taking a few cues from you guys to see how I'm going to be going about that. But let's wind the clock back a little here. When did you first start collecting Beatles/McCartney memorabilia, and was there a gap between you collecting stuff and first listening to the music?
Slight, not a huge amount. The first time I was really starting to listen to it was like late 78, early 79. Mm-hmm. I particularly remember Rock Show when it came out in the theaters.
In the theater, you lucky mother! That would have been so incredible.
It was a mono soundtrack, and it was the cut up version. You know, we're so much better off now with the full thing.
Oh yeah, and like we've got access to things like One Hand Clapping and the Bruce McMahon Show. It's the best time to be a McCartney fan ever. 100%. But perhaps, I mean, I can't, that's me being a little biased there. I would definitely have liked to have been on the 89 tour, on the New World tour, see Wings Over America, to have been there to see Broad Street in the cinema. There's definitely a lot of stuff I've missed out on there. I'm not going to lie.
Well, that brings us to our first item here. Now, there's
we'll go
there's nothing special about this copy of the disc. It's the clamshell edition of, no, it's a CD. It's not going to break.
Okay.
Clamshell edition of Tripping the Live Fantastic. I know you've done several shows on this, more hours than anybody can count.
Definitely. And is that a ticket in there I can see?
That is indeed, that is my ticket to the very first McCartney show that I ever went to.
And which show on the tour was that?
Saturday, April 7th, 1990. Dallas, Texas. Paul did not come to Houston on that tour. The closest he came was Dallas.
Dallas. Oh my gosh. Maybe he liked the show. I don't know. He just
Texas Stadium.
Wow. Just to hear.
Which you would see in the opening of the old Dallas TV show, the original version.
Excellent.
The big football stadium with the hole in the roof.
Just to hear him come on stage to do Figure of Eight, that must have been incomparable.
Well, it was amazing. It was particularly great because I almost didn't get to go. The tickets were not a problem. The tickets I got through the Fun Club. Mm-hmm. But I had a friend who was going to drive with me down there. I wasn't old enough to drive, but he was going to drive me down there. And then something came up and he couldn't go. And so it's like, no, I'm still gonna find a way. So I told my folks, this is now, so we're 31 years, I don't think they can do anything to me now.
Oh my God.
So I sold this ticket. I managed to get a plane ticket to Arlington. Mm-hmm. and that was then enough to get me on the plane, get me there, get me a taxi to the stadium and back to the hotel, but it wasn't enough to get me a hotel room for the night. So I slept in the lobby after the show.
You slept in the lobby after the show?
Yeah.
That's dedication. I've never done anything like that. That's proper dedication to the craft. That's incredible. You definitely found your way then. You knew your left from right, let's say.
Yeah, well, I mean, and I was too young to rent a car, so I had to take a taxi.
My gosh. Again, that is such a pre 9/11 story, if there ever was one. If there was a kid sleeping in the lobby of a stadium now, it'd be a headline, you know.
Well, it wasn't a stadium. It was the hotel next to the airport. I managed to get back to the airport.
Oh, right. Fair enough. But still, an unaccompanied minor going across America to see McCartney. It's like
okay, it's 400 miles. It's not exactly across America. It's barely across the state.
You're talking to a Brit here, where 400 miles more than encompasses my entire country. Oh my gosh, you're like Jan Mitchell in the Ticket to Ride book, you know. That's it.
Well, and it almost got replicated. The most recent McCartney show I saw was the 2019 show, also in Arlington, because again, McCartney hasn't been to Houston since 2012.
Mm-hmm.
He's been to Texas 5 or 6 times since then, but he has not come back to this town since the ballpark opened here.
Yeah.
But anyway, that the airplane trip was planned, and I had no parents to worry about. But the airline had the plane had, so I went to the show. I hung out. I met up with some friends after, and I ended up going to the airport. I had originally a red eye, which was like 1 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
to fly back, and it's a short flight, you know. Like I said, 400 miles, so it's maybe a 2-hour flight. The airline, for some reason, refused to board the plane.
Oh, I couldn't imagine that.
So unintentionally, I got to spend the night in the airport.
So every time you see a Paul McCartney show, there's basically some sort of rough sleeping arrangement.
Well, in Dallas. In Dallas. The other place that I've seen him, which was sort of similar but was actually planned, was in DC.
Okay.
Because I actually hadn't planned to go to the show, and someone through the Macca board said, if anybody wants to get up here, I've got a free ticket. It's like, I'll take that.
Wow, that's insane. Someone just had a free ticket. That's awesome.
Yeah. So you know, and so for that show, I didn't have a hotel, so I ended up just hanging out outside all night until the buses started running.
And I know you're a bit of a night owl, Ed, so I know that probably wasn't an issue for you whatsoever. You're probably still pleasant.
This is DC, mind you.
Yeah.
But I did get to Reagan. I did get to Reagan Airport, and what I learned from that airport is don't try to sleep, because every 15 minutes they announce the time very loudly. The time is now 4:15 a.m.
What tour was that on?
That was 2017.
2017. Cool. So just pre-Egypt Station, probably the last time to hear Queenie Eye live. I imagine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't got it. It isn't in my pocket. What was your very first item that you ever bought of Beatle memorabilia, though? Can you remember?
Oh, that's the first significant item was probably the serving tray, back when those were pretty common. The NEMS 63 serving tray, which has the color version of their faces and those red and blue stars.
So is that for like a dinner tray to have on your lap kind of
yeah,
thing?
Exactly. It's a TV dinner tray.
Oh, I needed.
It's in the other room, but I didn't bring it out for this.
I need that in my life. I need that as someone
You
who
can
rarely
still see them
ever.
on eBay. They're less than like 40 or 50 bucks. You know, they were made out of metal. They were made to last. Most of them are starting to rust through these days.
I'm looking it up on eBay right now. Come on, let's find one. Ah, okay. 109 pounds, 98 pounds, 256 pounds.
That's a little bit on the expensive side.
Oh my gosh.
But that was the first. That's the first one that I actually remember wanting and really seeing at a fest for Beatles fans. That would have been 83 or so.
Excellent. But
and I talked the guy down to like $30 or something, and he sold it to me, and that.
Just take it, Ed, please. Just stop haggling me. Go on. No, that does seem to be a bit of a run through here, Beatle fests, and I've got to ask, you know, do you miss the old style of Beatle Fest where you could have access to bootlegs and all sorts of weird stuff that was kind of semi-legal? You know, do you yearn for those glory days?
I did for a while, but nowadays I don't. I mean, you know, you can get anything you want through the internet.
Mm-hmm.
As far as unreleased recordings.
Yeah.
You can either if it's brand new, you can buy it. If it's been out for a year, someone will give it to you.
I mean, do they even make new bootlegs anymore? They don't.
Well, they do, and sort of the honor among thieves is don't give it away for a year.
Fair enough.
So I mean, you know, that's where we get things like, you know, we see all those outtakes from the Paperback Writer and Rain promos that came out last year.
Yes.
Yeah. So those were originally on video bootlegs,
right.
Actual honest to goodness bootlegs.
That's interesting.
And that are, you know, at record shows and various. They're not quite as underground as they were. And then, like I say, the rule is kind of once they get to be a year old, okay, then you can release it to the general public, as it were.
Because I haven't seen a new bootleg vinyl at all. Like, do they still exist, or did they pretty much get stamped?
Vinyl's pretty much dried up, except for the rarities that people actually sort of make. The Ox Tango release of the Star Club, which then quickly got surpassed by the internet version. And you see what we're starting to see is those quasi legal, like the live shows and things like that, that people are just throwing all sorts of crap into the package.
Yeah, like
posters and things which, you know, are manufactured and it's like, oh well, that's cool, but is it really worth this amount of money for a copy which is at best the same quality of what I've already got or what's on the internet?
Like, I'm looking at Off the Ground at the moment, and there's that Dutch German release of the Off the Ground sessions, and I'm like, I never actually have to buy this. This is all available on.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, those sorts of things are really just people trying to make money. The Japanese in particular, and this is one of those things that if you follow me on our Facebook group, I always tell people, do not buy pressed copies of these things because they're just stealing them off of the net. They didn't do the hard work to EQ or edit together the best pieces. They just said, oh, this is done. I can press this on a silver disc and people will buy it. And they do. And it's like, even though a generation down doesn't matter because it's a digital copy of a digital copy, but it's like, you didn't do anything other than press it to disc and come up with some nice labels.
Yeah, like, you know, that Pizza and Fairy Tales box. It's like, this is just a repackage of like 8 other bootlegs that I've seen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, there was an original Pizza and Fairy Tales, which I do have, but and I love that boot for the longest time. But now we've got that whole set complete.
When are we going to get an official release of the Phil Ramone sessions from Paul? Is he just going to bury it forever? There's such good music there.
That may be one that we may not get until after Paul is gone.
Yeah, I mean, we had some on Flaming Pie, didn't we?
Yeah, we had a little bit of that. I mean, Mary has either promised or threatened that once Paul is gone, she's just going to open up the doors to the archive and release everything.
No, I mean, I know that was like a funny quip to say in an interview, but it would be interesting to see how the Paul McCartney legacy would be carried on after he is unfortunately no longer here. Because, you know, how many more editions of Imagine is Yoko going to put out in the next year? You know what I mean? Another 7 different versions, you know, with a white vinyl.
Is it another vinyl, or is it, what are we doing? I think they're still worried more about what's going to come with the Beatles stuff after Let It Be. I still don't think they've really completely decided that yet.
Let's just do the 50th anniversary ones for Please Please Me and with the Beatles, and just call them the 50th anniversaries. Let's just pretend. I think the fandom can suck it up, you know?
Well, that seems to be the rumor, is that they may well just do a mono stereo box with the first 4 in both on one set of discs, and then just put that out there as the next thing. They still seem to be having some question as to what they're going to do with Help, Rubber Soul, and Revolver. You know, how are they going to remix them? What are they going to be able to do? Why Giles doesn't just go in and, you know, they've got the sub masters. They've got the masters with before they were bounced down. He should be able to do anything he wants to with that.
Yeah, like they were talking about Revolver, and Giles was saying that they don't exactly quite have the technology to separate like a bass and a drum track. But I mean, I'm pretty sure like artificial intelligence programs can pretty much do that without breaking a sweat.
Decent. I mean, I played around with that a little bit on some live stuff. You can definitely get vocals from instruments, bass, guitar, and drums. You'll get some bleed through on either one, and if you don't then take much care in reassembling them, it just sounds weird.
Well, Giles definitely knows what he's talking about in terms of this stuff. But I mean, a big issue that I've seen with a lot of the early albums is they would go in to record 12 songs, and they'd record 12 songs. It's not like, oh, there's 18 different unheard tracks from the Please Please Me era that weren't on Anthology. It's like, no, you might have a couple of alternate takes that were never released, but there's not a glut of bonus material for those early albums, is there?
I mean, there may be one LP's worth that they could put together
and call it like the early years uncut.
You know, Leave My Kitten Alone and One After 909, and that means a lot. Like I say, they might be able to get one album out from all the way up to everything pre Let It Be.
Yeah. No. I feel like there must have been other stuff that they could have done at the time but didn't. Like, so much of their live set list was just never recorded in a proper studio manner. The closest you get is like the BBC tapes and stuff like that. Like, I wish there was a George Martin produced version of George Harrison doing Take Care of My Baby, you know?
Well, and as far as live, there are enough studio or soundboard live recordings that they could actually put together a 4 or 5 disc box of live stuff. They could do a one representative show from each of the major tours. The one that I wish existed but doesn't is the 65 tour of Britain.
Yeah.
I mean, there are no recordings of that at all.
None at all. It just doesn't exist.
It just doesn't exist.
Oh, that's like when you find out a studio with all the original negatives of like thousands of films were burned. It's like, oh, what a waste. Why was that not recorded? Come on. That's incredible. But back to your collection.
Back to things. Okay, so number one, that the my first show and the ticket from the Dallas show. So let's
and lots of sleepless nights.
Number 2, which is a 2-parter, which you will appreciate because we've talked about this in the past on Paul or Nothing.
That's not a Laserdisc, is it?
That is a Laserdisc of the Paul McCartney special.
Oh my God. I'm going to take my glasses off.
1986.
Oh my God. That is incredible. Nothing excites me more, Ed, than a Laserdisc. I think it's the coolest format ever. What more can you say? It's a big CD. What's cooler than that?
You will especially like this. On our last show, you will remember we talked about the Once Upon a Video VHS.
No.
Here is the Laserdisc single version of that.
Oh my God. Oh, see, you get Pretty Little Head, Once Upon a Long Ago, Stranglehold, and We All Stand Together.
And it's got the Obi, so it proves to you it comes from Japan.
No, nothing screams Japanese Beatle album than the thing on the left with big red lettering. It was on the recent McCartney 3 album as well. It's iconic. It's such an iconic part of the collection. Oh wow.
So this
where'd you find that?
I love this. This was I was just sort of starting to get into collecting McCartney video on VHS. We've talked about this in the past. You would trade with other people, and commercial video, things like this that they would release for people to buy basically didn't exist.
Right.
It existed obviously, but they would sell them to video stores, and video stores would then rent them out. Something like this originally at list would have been maybe $100, $150.
That's a lot. Lot.
Well, I got this for free, believe it or not. Well, not quite for free, but not quite for free, because so this was in my local video store.
Right.
And so I would go in and not quite every time I went in to rent something, but maybe once a month I would rent this very copy from them.
Wow. So it was already your copy before it was yours, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And so they always knew. It's like, oh, go get him that McCartney thing.
Ring, ring. I'm on my way. Get it ready.
Yeah, exactly. go get him that McCartney thing. And so
I need to watch Stranglehold again now.
Well, not the. This was before. This came out with Press to Play.
Bro, oh, it's the Press to Play special.
The video special.
Oh my God! And did
and this was we really had not gotten a glimpse inside of McCartney's video archives before this. This was the first time that we got to see copies of sort of what kind of videos and in what kind of quality Paul had them sitting around.
Was there a Laserdisc for the Flowers in the Dirt special and the Off the Ground special?
There was indeed. I can go pull them if you really want to see them.
Go and get them right now, Ed Chen. Go and get them right.
Okay, well, you get to talk for about 30 seconds to a minute.
Folks, I do not apologize for this break in the programming right now. I need to see both of them. Hopefully he gets the tray as well. If you bring them in on the tray, and I'd definitely like to see that. Once again, folks, this is just breaking my heart. I need this stuff in my life, on my shelf, in my hands, and all I have are these stupid McCartney hats. Also, make sure you go and check out Ed's podcast, When We Was Fab, on all podcasting platforms and on YouTube, that kind of shtick. Go and check out the 2 episodes that I appeared on, actually, when we were talking about 1970, I believe.
All right, here's and 2 of them are Japanese, so let's see.
Even better.
There's the moving on.
Moving on. I can't believe you've got access to it, because the only way I can watch that now is on a very dodgy Russian site full of pornography advertisements on it. So you're a very lucky guy there, Ed. It's such a good film as well.
There's the Going Home Laserdisc.
That I can never escape that shirt. I hate that shirt.
One of my favorite things, the guy from Fab Four, Artie, actually has one of these, the shirt.
I need to get him on the show, and he needs to wear it.
And they've got a Wingspan, and they've actually got a Linda, and you can find some videos on YouTube of Artie in the '89 outfit with his Linda.
I mean, cosplaying as Paul McCartney,
they're pretty
that's
good.
the next level.
I mean, the Fab Four themselves are pretty good, but Artie and I think they call themselves a Wingspan.
Wingsman.
Man, B-A-N-D.
Oh my God.
And then here's the In the World Tonight, which has now been replaced by the copy in the archive edition.
So is that unique to what's in the archive edition then?
What? World Tonight?
Yeah. So is that the same as?
That is exactly the same as what is in the archive edition. Right. But I mean, we didn't have it for 15 years. It's been out of print for 15 years before the Flaming Pie archive came out.
Folks, there's nothing cooler than a Laserdisc. I've said it before. I'll say it again. And Ed's got 4 of them.
Well, I've got plenty more sitting over there. I've got the Liverpool Oratorio Laserdisc. I've got, if we want to go Beatles Laserdiscs, I got the Ready, Steady, Go Laserdisc. That is really cool.
Oh my
all it's not just the Around the Beatles, it's all of their appearances on Ready, Steady, Go.
Do you have any non-Beatle related Laserdiscs?
Oh, sure. I mean, I got Star Wars Laserdiscs. I got just looking at the shelf, there's probably maybe 100 to 150 different Laserdiscs that I've.
Do you have Jurassic Park on Laserdisc?
I think so.
Oh, okay. At the end of the show, you might need to go and get that as well, because it's in my top 10 dream purchases. That is, I need to have Jurassic Park on every format. I've got it on video, Betamax, DVD, and Blu-ray now. I need to have every.
Those Laserdiscs aren't that rare. I still see them at like used bookstores and things. You could probably get it for a reasonable price on eBay.
Sorry to ask a really young man question here, but was it a popular format at all? Were people ever talking about Laserdiscs? I've seen like for example, like I've never seen a Laserdisc joke on The Simpsons, for example. And
it was the auteur format. There would not be a Criterion collection if Laserdisc did not exist.
Really?
Criterion started out strictly pressing these films onto Laserdisc because they felt that there was no decent home representation of any of these great films. So they started negotiating and getting rights and working with directors and pressing them. And I still believe that Laserdisc versus early DVD, Laserdisc was better. Now DVD as a format got progressively better. And of course now there's no competition. Blu-ray and 4K just blow the picture quality of Laserdisc out of the water. But early DVD, when the digital version just wasn't great, you'd see blurs and jaggies and all these various other things. The analog reproduction off of the Laserdisc looked better.
DVD covers were just also pretty awful back in the day as well. Like I've got a really early 90s copy of the Roland Emmerich Godzilla, and it's like this weird plastic clasp and it's all cardboard and it's just the worst. And then I've got this early Schindler's List DVD where you have to pull it out vertically and then open it again. Yeah, not the best. Oh my God, I just realized I need a HD DVD copy of Jurassic Park as well, which I will never be able to play because HD DVD players just don't exist anymore. That's fantastic. These days, Ed, are you mostly just an eBay guy when it comes to your Beatle memorabilia though, or do you still go to actual record stores?
I still go to actual record shows, although purchasing, eBay has taken over for the most part. Sometimes I'll still find things. I still will go through junk shops and miscellaneous dollar stores. I got my Flip My Wig, my complete Flip My Wig. I used to have a partial one, which I then sold, but I then got the Game Complete in good minus condition at just like a junk shop.
Wow, that's lucky. That's really lucky, actually.
And you still find stuff at like garage sales and things.
Is there anything that is a bit of a white whale for you? What's your Moby Dick item? What has eluded your grasp?
Well, I want to get, what I haven't gotten that I want to get is one or more of the original Lonnie Lithos. Preferably one of the non-erotic ones that I could actually hang. Yeah. I've had a couple of opportunities to buy the erotic pencil lithos, one or more, but what am I really going to do with, it's got John's signature, but what am I really going to do with this picture of Yoko masturbating?
Yeah, maybe put it inside a closet or something and just show it to.
It's like, gee, I own this, but am I even going to pull that out to show Sam? It's like,
hey Ed, where's the photo? Where's my lithograph? Oh. No, for me at the moment, I still need to get a club sandwich version of Chopper, and I want to get. There's a weird bootleg of it where it's like yellow and pink, the text on the front.
Yeah. You've been talking about that.
Yeah, I need to get those two, and then my collection will finally be complete with 7 copies of the album. No, that's my only real Macca in Your Attic-esque thing that I'd ever be able to show on this show. I was talking with Lonnie earlier. It's weird how someone with such a small collection, such as myself, is sitting in any position of authority on this issue. This is mostly a show where I just bow before my friends who have much better Beatle collections than me. But here's a bit of a negative question. Have you ever had to get rid of product? Have you ever had to have a purge? Have you ever moved and lost stuff?
No, I've managed to keep everything. I have thought about selling some things, but nothing. I've never managed to get the price I wanted when I wanted it. When it's like, gee, I can use some cash. Let me see. Here's a half dozen things. Like things like sports cards, I managed to get the price I wanted at the time. Beatles stuff, here's the price I want. It's a fair price. No one was willing to pay it. Okay, fine.
No, we are a frugal lot, us Beatle collectors. We're always looking for a bargain. Is there anything you've bought where you were clearly getting a bargain?
I think we'll be getting to that. I mean, of course, the free Laserdisc didn't hurt. So yeah, the end of that story, I don't remember. Was eventually the video store decided we're not going to carry Laserdiscs anymore. They called me up. We're not going to be carrying Laserdiscs anymore. Do you want this? Hell yes.
Oh my God.
That was how I got my Laserdisc copy of the Paul McCartney special.
That should just be a movie in itself. That I'd love to see that movie. Just you getting this free Laserdisc in the final scene. You're just running to the store with your arms open. The clerk hands it to you. You'll be very romantic, definitely. Oh my God.
I don't know if romantic is quite the word for it, but it would be something.
Hopefully,
it really would be something.
Hopefully, in the way she moves, definitely. Let's move on to item number 3.
Item number 3. Okay, so I was fortunate enough to see 3 McCartney shows in San Francisco. I've got relatives and I've also got good friends who live in the Bay Area. So I saw the 2010, 2013, and 2014 McCartney shows in the Bay Area. So here are the shirts. This is the 2010 shirt, the up and coming tour shirt.
Excellent. I love a good McCartney shirt.
So 2013 was at their big festival that they hold every year, Outside Lands.
Okay.
And so it's an Outside Land shirt with, and there's all the other artists on the back.
All those other irrelevant people.
Yeah, it's Paul McCartney. Actually, I think it's Paul McCartney, Metallica, and the Chili Peppers.
McCartney, Metallica, and Chili Peppers. That's a fucking lineup. That is. Oh my God.
That was that weekend.
And let's look at the next one.
So this is
that's the proper out there one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the out there one. This was the this was the last, what they call the last pick of the stick, and that's the last shirt I'm going to show you in a minute here.
The last pick on the stick.
Well, so Candlestick Park, the last pick of the stick.
Oh wow.
Candlestick Park, which was where the Beatles played in '66. It was the baseball and football stadium in San Francisco. It was built 65, 66. The very last event at Candlestick Park was Paul McCartney.
Wow, that's very poetic.
And so the event itself, they called it the last pick of the stick. And they had t-shirts. They had these t-shirts made up just to sell at that show.
Oh, so there was no other time you ever could have gotten that shirt. That's very special.
Well, they printed up more than they sold. It sold out at the show, but apparently they printed up more and didn't get them all to the stadium where they held back X number, because they did have, like, on the site they had a rare sale. It's like, oh, okay, we got 500 of these shirts left.
I hate it when
so if you want to pretend like you were at the show.
Yeah, I was there when I was 10. Yeah, sure.
But yeah, so the thing about, there's a couple things about those shows. At 2 of those 3 shows, I missed actually seeing Paul by about an hour in 2 cases. In 2010, there's a bookstore in San Francisco called Green Apple Books, which is like the best used bookstore, or one of the best used bookstores in the States. And so my friend and I, we went down there afternoon, just before we then went by. The 2010 show was at the new stadium, the stadium that the Giants now play in, AT&T Park. Yeah. But so before we went down for sound check, we were out and about, and we went to Green Apple Books, and the guy says, yeah, I was wearing a Beatle shirt or something, and the guy says, oh, you just missed him. McCartney and people came in and were here for about 45 minutes, an hour ago.
Don't tell you that. Don't tell someone that. That's cruel. That is. That's evil. That is. Oh my God.
Well, and then the second time that happened, the year that he was at Candlestick Park, the year he was in Candlestick Park, we went down to the Golden Gate Park, which is the same place where Outside Lands was, just to kind of walk around the park and stuff. And people were coming up to us because we was wearing Beatle gear. Oh, he and James were on bikes like earlier this morning.
Oh my God! Just run in front of him cycling. Paul, stop!
Exactly. So it's like, so people were in the park that were still that had seen him that morning. So it's like, oh gee, well, that's fun.
So I guess, Ed, the moral of the story is always go an hour earlier to everything you go to now, just in case, because he will be there.
He could be, yeah. So yeah, the 2010 show, that was at AT&T Park. The beyond the show itself, the thing about that was that 2 rows in front of us, 1 seat to the right was an empty seat, which I later found out was Steve Jobs had purchased that ticket.
Wow.
I mean, there were other sort of tech. We were down on the floor. We were close enough to the front that there were other sort of identifiable tech moguls. But it's like, there's this 1 empty seat, and it's like, gee, I wonder. And then someone, who I knew who would actually know. It's like, yeah, he bought a ticket that most likely was his. Steve, that is.
Oh my God! Then you just see.
I mean, he was very sick at that point. I mean, we just passed the 10th anniversary of Steve Jobs dying.
Of course. I mean,
but
Bill Gates was just over to the right, and Wozniak was just behind you.
Well, Wozniak was there.
Oh, really?
I didn't see him, but he was in the. That's why I say, we were. If I can, I like to get on the floor.
Yeah.
And if I really can, I like to get up close, and that's going to be some of the last items I have here to show you. But yeah, so that was the first show, the AT&T Park show, the Outside Lands show. It was a great show. I mean, other than the fact that it's a festival and you got to stand for fucking ever. Can I curse on the? Can I curse on your YouTube?
You can fucking curse. Don't worry. This is
so,
not a show for kids, folks. This is not a show for kids. Oh my god. Oh, missing Paul by that.
But still, he had live streams with him for yesterday.
Oh really?
That's one of the few times he's done it with live streams.
That's cool.
And sort of like the second song, standing out there, the sun was coming down and the smell of pot. I mean, this is San Francisco. Was sort of wafting everywhere. It was just like what you would expect a McCartney show to be like. Pretty much absolutely perfect.
Can someone pass me a joint, please, for this next song?
Well, no, he did that. He didn't quite say that way. He said, well, I see there's something smelling pretty good out there. I wouldn't mind if somebody got some up here.
Oh, just people flicking them up at him.
No, there was, not only was there this gap, there was the rest of the, we have to protect festival goers from crushing each other. So you couldn't get, no matter how close you got, there's no way, unless you had like a pack, there's no way you could, and no one's gonna throw a pack of joints to.
Maybe like get like a little drone and fly one over to him.
Yeah, that might have been a little bit early for drones.
Thank you very much. I'm going to share this with Abe after the show.
So yeah, that was my 10th McCartney show, and that remains one of my favorites. Just because of the circumstance.
What was your first then?
The first was this one, was Dallas.
Oh right, wow, oh my gosh! So you've seen them back to back, basically a packed schedule of McCartney shows.
Yeah, well, I mean, since 1990, I've seen him 26 times.
26. You've seen Live and Let Die 26 times. You've seen Jet 26 times.
Well, and that will then take us to the last show, the last pick of the stick.
Yeah.
The great thing about that show, go and watch the YouTube video of that of the Live and Let Die. The building was coming down literally the day after. We're going to start tearing apart the building the day after. And so, okay. So, it went and told Paul's Pyro guys, look, we don't care what you fucking do. Do whatever you want to do. You want to make this thing crazy? Do it. And the fireworks on Live and Let Die that night were just beyond anything you've ever seen.
Oh, I mean, I remember when the only time I've seen Paul, 2018 at the O2 at the end of the Out There tour, and I remember sitting there thinking, I'm not going to go crazy when the Live and Let Die pyro comes on because I expect it, I know what's coming, I'm going to be mature. And then it happens, say, Live and Let Die. Bam! I was like, I just completely
and Rusty plays it up so well when he falls over dead when the flame comes up on him.
Oh man! But they are just the best McCartney band as well. Like I've got such an affection for Wings and for the first touring band, but Rusty, Abe, Wicks, and I think it's Brian. Oh, they are the best. They are such workhorses, and they've been with Paul now longer than any other musicians, and you can tell they are such a tightly wound unit that they are just the best.
Yeah, our friends over on BC, the Beatles, were talking about they were going back and watching the 2001 show. And it's like they're all such babies.
Abe still looks exactly the same though. That guy hasn't aged a day. It's ridiculous.
Well, the bald head and and he's already a kind of a chunky guy. You know, it's not like he's going to make himself look that much older by.
Yeah.
But the normal things where we can tell aging, it's like, no hair, no. The body frame stays basically the same. So
his silhouette is exactly the same. Yeah, 100%. Let's go on to your next item, Ed.
So we move on. Here's actually a three-parter, and it is still related. It actually comes directly out of that last story. So you know, if you pay a ridiculous amount of money, you get to go into Soundcheck. They feed you a meal. You get seats in like the second, third, or fourth row, and they give you a goodie bag.
Goodie bag. Oh no.
Now it's not just like, oh, here's a little sack like you get at the grocery store. I've done Soundcheck 3 times, and so I have three separate goodie bags. I won't show you everything that's in them, but I will show off the bag itself. This is the out there, the backpack.
That's a good quality backpack. That's a good backpack.
And it's a solid backpack. It's not something that just falls apart. I actually use this now as my bag, which holds all my podcasting gear.
Excellent. Love it. And as a sample, what kind of swag do you get in a bag like this?
Well, you get pick, you get a program, you get something which you may or may not use. Let's see.
Is that in case it rains?
No, that's actually a blanket.
Oh, a blanket, just a Paul McCartney blanket.
But which I've never opened or unwrapped, but it's like, okay, well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
it's the freshen up blanket.
In case you need to freshen up, yeah.
In case you need to freshen up.
That was a total pun on McCartney's part. I guarantee you he thought of that.
Well, it supposedly has something to do with toothpaste. Because he tweeted out that the show would be minty fresh, and everyone was expecting that he was going to change more than 3 or 4 songs, and no, it just meant that the name of the tour was going to be freshen up. That had to be a toothpaste thing.
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, like John being inspired by so many songs just by watching the TV. I'm sure Paul just saw a Colgate advert or something.
Or something. So,
yeah.
So anyway, so yeah, this was San Francisco. This was and you know, it's a really nice backpack, and they also give you a program, and they give you a pick, and they give you some miscellaneous swag. So you don't feel quite so bad about having spent $1,000 on. But the other thing is, you know, you are in the first 3 rows, dead center, mm-hmm. and you get to see Soundcheck. And if you can afford it, you should go and do it at least once, assuming it ever happens again. Just because, you know, Soundcheck is a great experience. You show up. Typically, it's like an 8 o'clock start for a show. They have you show up at like 3 o'clock. So you wander in and you get to hang out and sort of meet everybody else who spent way too much money on this package, and you be social. And then once Paul gets there, they line you up and they walk you out onto the field or the arena floor. And so they don't let you get any closer than the soundboard though, which was 20 rows back.
Fair enough. But
and then they also tell you photography is allowed, but no video. Although people do still video, you see them on YouTube and such. But it's a completely different show. I mean, he does at least 50 minutes because he tests out every instrument that he's going to play during the show, and every song he does on every instrument is going to be different than any of the songs he actually plays in the show.
Yeah, like you'll get Sea Moon or I'll Follow the Sun or something.
Or
like that.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's why I say, it's a lot of fun. I would do it more, but I've done it 3 times. And I'll do it again the next time he comes through, assuming I'm still in a position to afford it. So,
come on, Paul, go back on tour. COVID's pretty much over now. Let's get this ball moving. Come on.
And then so after Soundcheck, they then take you back and they serve you a nice veggie meal catered by McCartney's people, not by the stadium people.
Really? By McCartney's craft crew? That's
craft crew, yeah. And that's so cool. That's cool. And 2 out of the 3 times they had a Sunday bar, which everyone really appreciated. Oh, and open bar, so free booze for.
Oh, now you're speaking my language. Yeah. Now you speak free booze at a McCartney show.
Actually, I think it's too hard. It's too hard or well drinks, but you can always get more tickets from the people who aren't there drinking, and unlimited beer and wine.
Oh my God!
Was the way that worked. And so you just hang out and you stay there until basically when doors open, they tell you, okay, doors are opening in 10 minutes. If you want to go buy stuff from the souvenir stands, go now before they let the crowds in. So then you go out.
Pick of the litter. Oh,
exactly. You go out, you see what you want, you get what you want, and then you just go back down onto the floor and you're there 20 feet from Paul McCartney.
Paul, play Carnival of Light, please.
Well, the thing about the thing about Live and Let Die is when you're that close, you can actually feel the heat from the flash pots on the stage.
Imagine what Paul feels, Oh my God.
He's
gonna have singes on his back.
Here's 2 more. So they come up with different sort of bags. They don't just give you a backpack every time.
Oh, this looks like a beach bag.
This is like a beach bag.
Yeah, nice.
And this was from Portland, the one-on-one tour.
Oh, I love that. I can imagine that being full of ice cool beers,
And then this was my most recent one. I don't know what kind of bag it's supposed to be, but it's a nice bag. It's the fresh up. This was from Winnipeg a couple of years ago. I went to Winnipeg because I was determined to see him play Mull of Kintyre, and he didn't do it.
He didn't do it.
He didn't do it. It's like, am I going to go to Canada? Because I knew I was going to see him on this tour because he was coming to Austin.
Mm-hmm.
Austin is about 120 miles from here, that's close. That's very much car distance.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and so it's like, am I gonna do it? Am I gonna do it? It's like, well, okay. I've gone to see a Soundcheck in a couple years. Fine. I've got to renew my passport anyway. I'll renew my passport, use it, and go and see him in Winnipeg.
Living your best life there, and that's absolutely incredible.
But yeah, so they and this. The only thing I don't understand about this is what exactly is this? There's a zipper down here at the bottom of this bag. And there's a little compartment. It's like, what is this compartment for?
Possibly for those plastic ice block things to keep stuff cool.
Maybe when they gave
to keep things fresh.
They gave it to us. This was in there, which was like it's a print.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a tour print, and this was actually down in the bottom. I don't think they made the compartment just for this.
Yeah, I need someone to put the print, Oh, I need to do a sound check now, folks. Yeah, that's the next one on the list. Subscribe on patreon.com if you want to make me be able to afford to go to one of these ridiculously expensive.
Well, there you go. There's the souvenir ticket.
Oh, see, Ed, don't get mad, but I'm pretty sure I lost my Paul McCartney ticket on the night. Oh, I was so upset. And
then I don't even know what this is. This is a replica piece of vinyl that you write your name and address on. I guess we're gonna put it on the bag so if somebody loses it. But if somebody loses a Paul McCartney Fresh Up bag, is it ever? You don't expect it ever to be returned, do you?
No,
No.
like if I saw a butcher cover just laying around on the street, I'm not handing it into the police. Like that's going straight in my room, you know.
So okay, the last thing, which actually has the least amount of story, but is one of the cooler items.
Come on, let's have a look.
Now that Paul has a new children's book. No, it's not just a copy of High in the Clouds. It is a copy of High in the Clouds.
It is a copy. Don't say it's signed. Don't say it's signed.
I am going to tell you what you don't want to hear.
Oh no! Oh, that's so frustrating. A signed copy of High in the Clouds. No wonder it's in bubble wrap. Oh my gosh. Oh.
I still need to get something signed from John. Like I say, one of the things, well, what I've got signed by each of the three so far is books. So I've got this. It's guaranteed to be real because I know the kid who got it signed.
Right.
Because there's no pictures of it, but Paul had a sign, and he's actually supposed to be having a signing for the Green Submarine book.
Yes, I shan't be in attendance, but I'm sure they'll be on eBay very, very soon.
But this one was actually reasonably cheap. A, because I knew the person, and B, because they needed the money at the time, and so it's like, okay, yeah, that not only does it look real, that's guaranteed to be real.
And then what?
And then I own the Genesis Harrison book, the Live in Japan book, and that the Genesis books all come signed.
Okay.
And then I own Ringo's postcards book. So
you've got signed postcards. That's cool. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's the real edition from Genesis. It's not the mass market edition. It's the one where if you actually wanted to be silly and go in and take the postcards out, you could.
Oh, okay. Oh, I like that a lot. That sounds
so cool. They put it in the book with little punch outs around it. So you can pretend that Paul McCartney actually sent you this postcard, or you stole it from Ringo's house. And the print, it's not just like front and back printed. It's like it looks like the actual postcard.
My favorite Beatles postcard is the one that you see in Living in the Material World, where George Harrison's mom's died, and Lennon sends him a postcard, and it just says, "Bebopalula, sorry about your ma."
Yeah,
like, that's so beautiful. That's so beautiful.
So anyway, so I have 3 books signed by 3 of the Beatles. So for Lennon, I'm going to have to get. Actually, I'm probably going to want to get Grapefruit just because that's the most affordable of the books signed by Lennon I can get. Spaniard in the Works and In His Own Right, those are well over $1,000 a piece.
1,000, fucking hell.
I've seen Grapefruit for between $750 and $1,000, so signed.
Well,
with the John and Yoko signature, just to complete the book signed by Beatles collection.
Would you trade your Harrison crate for an original signed Spaniard in the Works?
I can have to see how much the Harrison crates are going for on.
I can't press him for an answer on that one. That's very funny.
If they're comparable, yeah, sure, I do it.
Oh my!
You pay for one or you pay for the other, but
yeah. Right, folks, if anyone has a signed copy of Spaniard in the Works, let's get this ball rolling. I want to see Ed sweat as he makes the decision.
So that's 5, even though some of these are sort of multi-part things.
No, Ed, thank you so much for that. That was an incredible tour through your life there. My gosh. All of your encounters with Paul, you either just miss him or you end up having to sleep in a lobby somewhere. It's very exciting stuff.
Yeah, although, like you said, the airport 10 years ago, the airport hotel, well, 10 years ago, we're talking about 30 years ago now, airport hotel lobby wasn't too bad. 3 years ago, 3 years ago in the airport was not great. and in the airport in DC was not great for the reason, at least they let me through security because obviously I was supposed to be boarding a plane at like 2 a.m. And it's like, nope, we're not boarding. We're not going to board for another 4 hours.
No.
But at least I was through security and, just watching the poor people come in to open up their airport shops. It's like, oh, great. Thanks a lot.
I'm just picturing you in like a Beatles shirt, and then like someone at the TSA goes, "Oh yeah, Paul was here just an hour ago." You just missed him. Yeah, like he had a lot of marijuana in his Hofner case, but we let him through because we're not Japan in the 80s,
So yeah, the Reagan Airport, DC, that had to be the worst.
Oh, right.
Just because it's like they inside the airport, they actually have comfy couches that you can lay down and sleep on, but they make sure you're not going to sleep because it is now 4:15 a.m.
No, it's like when you see in New York, they'll have public benches with like spikes, like all throughout the architecture, so homeless people can't sleep on it. It's the same kind of malicious, no one ever gets to sleep for free mentality of the capitalist world. There's no free beds, Ed. Oh. Right. And on that note, everyone, we have come to the end of another episode of Macca in Your Attic. I have now completed there is now a new co-host of...
Well, there's John Stone, there's Ethan Alexanian, as briefly as he lasted as a co-host of the show.
He was my very first guest.
There's always Dave Purcell's, who no one ever actually knows except me. From the very first year of... when we used to be known as Beetling About.
He's like the Pete Best of your group, definitely.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Or is he Stu Sutcliffe? I don't know.
Well,
some people say he wasn't very good as a podcast host. I can say that because I know he's not going to be watching.
No, I mean, did he like podcast with his back to the mic and stuff? Did you ever get drunk and kick him in the head? Then he'd be the
No. But he did just sort of fade away. He didn't answer my texts for like a month, and then he finally called me up and said, "Yeah, my girlfriend doesn't want me to do the show anymore."
Oh God! Oh my God! There was
it really was kind of the Stu Sutcliffe thing.
My gosh. Astrid was like, "No, Nine, I do not wish you to do this podcast anymore. I am very sorry." Just like with a little bob hair and black room,
I never met his girlfriend, although I think they're married now.
No, it's funnier in my head if I pretend that she looks and sounds like Astrid, because I don't want to do a Yoko joke. They're far too old. They're far too been there, done that,
Except Astrid is just so sweet.
Yeah, she
was just so sweet.
Rest in peace, Astrid.
Yeah.
You know what, Ed? Just before we go, do you have a fire extinguisher on site for all of this memorabilia, just in case?
I do indeed. I got a little one.
Everyone said yes. I'm so happy. No one said no so far. I'm really happy with that. If there's an arson epidemic in the States, the Beatle merch will survive. It will survive. Right, everyone. This has been another episode of Macca in Your Attic. I've been joined by the powerful Ed Chen. Fight the power.
And let's see, we're doing another video show sometime soon here.
Yes, we will. That basically, once I've done my off the ground episode of Paul or Nothing, which hopefully will be done by the time this episode it better be fucking done. But by the time this episode comes out, then yeah, me and Ed are going to do another video on Paul McCartney's 90s music videos.
Nothing on the Paul McCartney special, but we still have to show that again.
Oh, yes. Oh my God, look at it. It's incredible. But yeah, folks, this has been another episode of Macca in Your Attic. Please keep collecting Paul McCartney tat. Spend all the money you want on this useless stuff if it makes you happy, because that's all we could ever hope from this stuff. Hopefully you've been made happy by this episode. It certainly made me very depressed and very envious. But that's my cross to bear. Peace and love. Peace and love. No more autographs. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
All right. So was that good enough for you?
Oh my God, Ed, you always pull it out the bag. You always surprise me, mate. Yeah.
Let me see if the Jurassic Park is there.
No. Oh no, this will be worse than any of the Beatles stuff. If he's got Jurassic Park, I'm coming to the States. I'm coming for you, Ed. I'm gonna get it. Oh my God. No. No. Please, no. I can't handle this. It's too much to bear. It is funny though. Ethan Alexanian was my very first guest on this show. So, in terms of the last incarnation of When There Was Fab, I'm pretty much done. Gotta get the new guy on. You know who you are. You are more than welcome to come on. Hit me up. I will hit you up. Come on, Ed. Where are you, mate? John Stone. Yeah, there we are. John Stone. I'm coming for you, motherfucker. I'm coming for you. I thought you said Joss Stone. I was like, he's got Joss Stone.
No, I don't see it right now. I know it's in there, but I don't see it.
Oh,
I just did a quick look, but there's the put it there.
Put it there as well. Oh,
well, that's what I say. I got. So
you've got enough Laserdisc to stop a 50 cal bullet there. Oh my gosh.
So I mean, and we can blame it all on this.
Yeah.
So I bought the Laserdisc player in part because of this. There was this, and there was I got the original Star Wars trilogy on Laserdisc.
That's
the
cool.
pre-Lucasized.
Yeah.
Which is the best copy of that.
Yes, with the correct Ewok song at the end. Dub dub.
Yeah, exactly.
And the terrible Wampa outfit as well. Yeah. I've got the original Star Wars on VHS as well. They're a very valuable part of my minute DVD collection, video collection. Oh, is he?
Yeah, I'm not sure where it is. I know it's in there somewhere, but you get the idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a deluxe of the Jurassic Park, and then there was a regular one. I just have the regular one, but there is a deluxe. The deluxe Laserdisc is worth a bit of money, but the regular one is not that expensive.
Jurassic Park Deluxe Laserdisc. Oh, it looks beautiful. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. £17?
Laserdiscs aren't that expensive.
What? Oh, folks, I might actually be buying something on the show live, right?
You're not talking to anybody anymore. You're talking to me.
Oh my
You're not putting the rest of this out, are you?
Not unless you say anything offensive about another podcast, and this will probably make the Patreon feed, I imagine. Oh my gosh.
No. Everything I said about other podcasters was nice today.
Yes,
because I didn't talk about